Welcome to Synthetic Oil Protection. I'm your host, Eben. If you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe, tap the notification bell. You'll be able to come back and watch all this important information for your vehicle later. So we got Jeff and Steven. These guys are all here today. And yep, today we're going to be talking about a really interesting subject, and that's how you know when your mechanic's lying to you.
He's talking!
Yep, what? He's talking, exactly.
That's why I stay quiet.
So, we're inside the shop. We got Poiple Power here. This is Jeff's Moose. I don't even know what it's called, but we call it the Moose.
Crowd killer.
The Crowd Killer.
That's right.
You're right, Steve. Steve, he's my backup, so I don't know what to say. Steven comes in and he gives me answers. And it helps me find myself sometimes. He's an expert, transmission expert. And you know he's an expert. You can just see by the way he looks. Look at him. Look at that guy.
When he introduced himself, he said he was Steve the expert.
Yes, yes.
Can't dispute that shit.
Now what Jeff's doing
It says right here in the fine print.
is Jeff's stacking some products, so we have lots of good stuff. And Jeff, do you want me to put up your phone too, or should I just do one take and we'll do that, and I'll give it to you if you need it.
We're gonna be like you guys in Africa.
I know, exactly.
I'm still going to put mine up, just so I have
All right,
a copy.
cool.
But, yeah,
All
we're
right,
good.
all right.
Just start going
So we're rolling. So yeah, so this is the hot spot, and it's getting a lot hotter. We did a transmission
Too
fluid
many
change.
bodies in this small area.
Yeah, and it's amazing how much the products have been taken off here. And Jeff's got his rolling display here
That's right.
of all the good products.
Change less often.
And it goes on and on and on. So this is the shop where all the goods take place. Jeff's got the coffee on the other side. We got the magic wall over there. Should I show him the magic wall?
Show him the magic wall.
All right, let me show you guys the magic wall. So yeah, so if you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe. And you can fast forward through this video and see the other part where we talk about how you know when mechanics are lying. And Jeff and I, we want to do a service, and Steve, to make sure everyone's thoroughly taken care of, that they have some of the finest products in their vehicle. So if you're not aware, Jeff carries AMSOIL, and Steven is also an AMSOIL dealer as well, so you can get products from him too. So this is the wall, and this is some really great people in town. This gentleman is a wonderful dove handler, really good magician. This guy here, this is the Magic Mechanic, and he is a big time hotshot here in Las Vegas. And Jeff is like a total superstar. And we got these magicians that come in all the time, that come in and check out the shop. They're getting their cars done here. Lots of different magicians, different stage magicians, you name it. They all come through. Yep, we had Nick Lacapo. That's one of Jeff's idols. He looks up to him, which is great. And Steven is an avid ATV driver. He loves driving his Banshee. And he's all about building engines. So he built his VW. So I'm going to put a little link up in the corner where we actually did the first oil change on his VW Bug that's turbo. It's about 12 pounds of boost, but he's got capability to go above 20, right, Steven? Yeah, right. I mean, it's a pretty nutty build. And he gave me a ride in it, and I got to say, it's the first real Bug I've ever been in that really had a little pep. And it's good to see Steven finding himself by doing. He's not afraid to get out there and spend a little money on an engine and see what it's like, what you do, how to build the cam, how to go through all the cooling, the extra oil coolers. And Steven's just doing it all. And just such a colorful guy. Give him the name of the shop, Steve. Where are you at?
Oh, AMCO Transmission.
All right.
Out in good old Henderson, Nevada.
All right, it's what they call, some people call Hendertucky. Basically, it's a sweet spot where you can get things super wet, because they say in Henderson, they say in Kentucky, the wetter the better, and they say she goes, you know, so that's my Kentucky
So
nuts.
if I'm good, hit record.
All right, let me see if this will fit.
And then I'll do my intro.
All right, so we're online here. Jeff's gonna hit record. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, we're recording. We're rolling.
Hey everybody, we're here for our Thursday night show. Eben's already done the intro, so welcome to Synthetic Oil Protection.
Yes, Thursday night with Eben and Jeff.
Yeah, and we have a guest star tonight. Our guest star is Transmission Steve. Or
Hey, you gotta be careful with that in this day.
what? Tranny Steve?
Oh, no.
What?
So yeah, so we're gonna be slapping bottles and doing all kinds of fun stuff. So let's get into the topic.
Let's get into the meat and potatoes.
Jeff, go ahead and let's kickstart it like a dirt bike. I want you to nail this thing, start up the engine, Jeff. Tell us about how you know when some of these mechanics around your area, whether you're in Vegas or somewhere else, how do you know if they're full of this brown stuff that seems to always get in your sneakers?
Ah, yes. The poo-poo. The poo-poo.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that you need to do is, first off, we actually talked about this really, really long time ago. I believe it was the show you were in.
All right.
Right? Right there.
A little bit. We're talking about fuel system.
Okay.
Besides the point.
You get a feeling in your gut when you go somewhere, and the rule of thumb is if you don't feel right, don't stay there. And there's two reasons for that.
I like that.
A, you do not have a relationship with that person, obviously, because if you don't feel right, there's something wrong. Now, that may or may not be a crooked or honest person. There's no way to judge, but you are going to have I'm going to say like a more difficult experience if you don't have that initial trust. Now, if you walk in some place and it, as Eben would say, it warms you in the cockles of your heart, right?
Yes.
And even for me, in the
Warms the cockles of your heart. Yes.
So if you've been warmed in the cockles of your heart and you've got a good feeling, go forward from there. That's the first step.
I like that.
As soon as you walk in the door, you go off of what your gut feels. You go up, ask a question. If they answer the question and you're satisfied with the initial introduction, it's like it's a blind date. If you've never been to a shop before, it's a blind date, right?
Yeah.
So you're going in and you could be sitting down, look across the table and go, my goodness, what did I do? Fortunately, you don't have to order dinner, right?
Exactly.
You can turn around and just walk the heck out. And that's really what you should do if you don't feel comfortable somewhere. Because there's going to be one reason or another.
So intuition is a huge part.
Yeah, very much so.
And I was watching a thing with Gary Kasparov. He's a famous chess player.
Okay.
And he says that's the difference between man and machine.
I have to play with chess.
Yeah, he says, yes, Steven says he likes to play with chess. And I do too. I know what he's talking about. Now, we can't do that here on this channel yet.
King me.
Yes. Yes. Well, the queen is the most important part of it. But the whole idea is man versus machine. A machine, a computer, doesn't have human intuition. And that's what you have, which you're so fortunate to. And basically, Jeff is saying that first gut reaction, that first question you ask, if it's right, if it's not, if it doesn't feel right, it's not.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's the most beautiful thing that you have. So what's the second thing, Jeff?
So second thing is going to be how they treat you mechanically. So when they come to you, first off, are they addressing your concern? Now you need to very, very clearly spell it out on paper.
Please.
Pretty much any shop you go to is going to have you sign in, okay? When you sign in, and I tell my customers this because everybody says, oh, Jeff knows. Everybody comes in, oh yeah, Jeff knows. Let me tell you, I don't know anything. If you told me something a week ago, I wanted to remember it. It didn't happen. I forgot more than I remember, so it's whatever. So that's why it is. Yeah.
Something plus people a day.
You're
100
fixing-
phone calls in a week.
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
or
I'm not
Steven.
in your face, but
Sometimes-
I don't remember what you told me sometimes. I'm not perfect, sorry.
And that's what happens. And I've actually been to Steven's shop. I can't even barely even see him sometimes. He's on the phone. He's caught in the midst of a million phone calls, a million quotes. People want to know what's wrong with their transmission by being over there in Tokyo. They want to know by Steven. And that may not be
Crystal
work.
ball ain't very crystal clear all the time.
Exactly. So Steven, they need help. So you got to give them the extra help they need to diagnose.
So one of the things you should always do is you make sure, like I said, write down your concerns. And if you have a good technician or a service writer, first thing I ask my customers when they come in and we're doing a diagnostic, I'll sit down and very nicely say, you know what? Tell me a story. And I want the story to start when your problem started. And even if it seems insignificant to you, it could be vital to me. So people will tell me about, this started a month and a half ago. I was sitting in the drive-through. It was 80 degrees outside, telling me all this information. And then they tell me how it went. Now, not everything they tell me is going to be valid information, but because I'm the technician, I'm sorting out. As you're talking, I'm sorting in my head symptoms, time of day, temperature outside, what were you doing, were you driving, were you moving, were you parked? So these little details that you may not think are that significant are. So if you have a problem, say you have an engine light pop on, you feel a vibration or something crazy, take a mental note right then and there of exactly what happened, what time of day it was, where you were driving. It may seem insignificant to you, but it's not.
And what Jeff's doing is he's basically calculating. So he has experienced, you could say, a little bit over the years. No, I'm just kidding.
A little bit, a couple things.
Yeah, a couple things. So basically what's going on is he's seen all these different, basically chess moves. It's like the opening in a chess match. And they all become so clear once you've played a million matches. Now Jeff here, from the Army, Air Force, all the different nooks and crannies he's been in, working on all different types of vehicles, he sees these as clear as day as soon as it's presented.
Yeah.
And basically you have to give him the full story so he can make the next move. And the quicker he's able to figure out this calculation, you got a fixed car, you're on your way.
Yeah.
And it could be something small as a little piece of plastic, to it could be something developing that's the whole damn transmission that poor Steven has to diagnose. And it's terrible, but he has to give this news. And I watch him dig through piles of you know what, day in and day out. Give him an example, Steven. I see this stuff. Give him something.
Oh, what's a good one? I don't know.
When you heard a little something and it ended up being a total disaster.
I'll throw it out there. The CVT transmission with a very minor whine. It doesn't sound loud. And I only hear it when I'm going uphill, but it doesn't do it all the time. Is my transmission okay?
Well, with the CVT, unfortunately, no, it's
What's the whine? Is that the band slipping or?
it could be either the band slipping. Hell, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm off the clock.
It's okay. So basically, it's okay.
It could sound
Steven's
small
checked
to you.
out.
Yeah.
Steven gets nailed from every direction all day. He's getting asked questions about these transmissions. He's been there since what time, Steve?
7.
So basically, he gets there at 6. Steven is the backstop. So basically, a lot of the other people that work in the shop, they use him as an extra utility piece. Steven gets a lot of the brunt of things. He has to do all the test drives. They really beat him up there. Now, Steven is okay with it, and he does his job well, but he gets beat down. And right now, he hasn't had food, and we want to make sure we don't lose him. Now, the other thing is, too, he lives on sugar.
Woo!
So basically, Steven's regularly drinking this soda and all this stuff. And, sugar, what it does, it's a very short-lived energy source, where fat is sustainable. It lasts hours.
Hours. And hours.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is it's like taking care of your car. You run this mineral oil.
Oh, shit. Oh, it's going all over.
You got squirted in the eye.
Yeah.
Oh,
it did.
not.
It's okay. It did.
Splash zone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's been a lot of money shots in the channel.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
Go back through the playlist and see some of these oil changes where it just comes splooging out. We've gotten the camera many times for the oil.
Oh, man.
So we're gonna paste Steven together. We're gonna keep him okay. We'll nurse him later. We'll make sure he's okay. We'll send a nurse down. Nurse, come down here and take care of Steven.
Only if she's hot.
All right, we'll make sure she's hot. We'll get her all warmed up.
I'll have her bring in a hot iron poker for you. That's nice. There you go. So we basically discussed walking in.
Yes.
You got your gut feeling. Now another thing that people do, and Eben was talking about it right now, phone calls. Hundreds of phone calls. Now, we are both good at diagnosing vehicles. I actually have been able to before, and some of the subscribers have called, and I've helped them out with.
And thank you for reaching out to us.
Please, appreciate it. Let's throw some numbers out there real quick.
702-472-3614. That's my cell phone. 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, you're thinking about this stuff. You're thinking about it like your favorite beverage. You're asking yourself questions that you can't even answer. And you need an expert to answer, someone that works with this lube every day.
Yeah.
What do? You call someone like Jeff.
Right.
You call someone like Steven.
Yeah.
And then after you exhaust those two, then you can call me. No, I'm just kidding. No, you can call me anytime.
All right.
And
if you want to complain, call him.
Yes.
That's
Anything
me.
happy to say, call me, call Steve.
Yes. So no matter what, we're basically this big catch net. We're going to save you. We're going to save your cat. And we're going to give you the best advice we know. And if it means taking that car and taking it down to the scrapyard, we're not going to sugarcoat this stuff. We're going to give it to you the way it is. And we have to help you because that's what this channel's about. It's this big circle, this community where we all kind of keep this chain of wonderful discoveries, and we bottle it up. And what do? We put it here on Thursday night.
Yeah.
And this is Thursday night with Eben and Jeff and guests. We're going to have all different guests. We're going to be having showgirls on the channel.
All right.
We're going to be having all kinds of profound
Make sure I'm here for that.
Yes, to make sure Steven is front and center. And, it's just such a beautiful thing to have everyone here. Where are we getting to, Jeff? I thought about showgirls and I forgot
You
everything.
just lost it.
I forgot everything. All right, what else, Jeff?
We have showgirls in Las Vegas, all over the place.
Showgirls?
I know.
There's cheap ones across the street.
Stop it.
Steve,
So
don't
we
tell them where I get my stuff.
So
Don't give it up. No, just kidding.
people will call us and ask if we know what's wrong with their car, or they'll say, I'll call Steven. My transmission is broken. How much does it cost?
Oh, my favorite question.
So, first things first, when you discuss something with a technician, you call us on the phone, you should say, hi, I am Joseph, or whatever your name happens to be, and then the next thing is, I have a blank blank 2018 Toyota Tacoma pickup truck with a 3.5, or whatever vehicle you have. Start with those two things, and then ask us a probing question, like, I'm having issues with my transmission or my engine, or I have a squeak. Is this something that you would happen to know the cost from off the top of your head? You know what, if you came in here, right, and you told me that you have a 2015 Chrysler Town and Country with a 3.6 liter, and you say you have oil all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Right. What is it, Steven?
The oil filter cooler and housing between the
Right in the
valve
intakes, right. And those, we're not going to discuss numbers because that's just not how it is on the show. We don't talk about numbers, we just say it's a repair. I can shoot you that off the hip. I've done that one several times now. Back in the day, if you said I've got a 98 Chevy Monte Carlo with a 3.4 and your intake manifold gasket's leaking, right off the, you see how fast it came out? Right off the hip. I could have told you 750 to 850 because I know that one. I've done it.
It could be a lot faster, and you can shoot from there. This is the old West.
Wow.
It look like this. Look. That was 3 shots.
Damn, I'm not that good. I need practice. However, my cousin.
You like that, Steve? You like that shit?
My cousin can
You like
pull
that
off
fucking shit, Steve?
6 shots. 6 shots, 2 seconds. So basically,
Now we're talking
help.
about language.
Yeah, help us help you. If you call us and you want help with figuring out like how much repair is going to cost.
Now, the question is, Jeff, should they be calling all the time or should they just come in?
Well, if your car is broken in your driveway, you can't just come in.
How
So-
often is that? Do they call you with that, Jeff? Steven? You get these calls all the time when they're bothering you.
It's not about
We're
Are
not
they
bothering.
bothering?
It's not a bother.
All right,
we
we
gotta be clear on that. It is not a bother.
All right.
But I'd say 9 out of my 10 phone calls are, well, my transmission's bad. How much does it cost?
Yeah.
And it's you gotta be able to bring it in so I can have an idea of what it is. But
So
if you
Steven's
don't
saying,
bring
bring it in.
Steven's saying
Just bring it in. Right, Steve?
And
Just
to
bring
be,
it in. If
All right.
it has to be towed in, mention it. Most places, especially when it comes to transmission repairs. and
we
stuff
got
like that,
reduced price or
He
free
can make
towing.
that a part of the service.
Yeah.
Right, Steve? Tell him.
Usually, exactly. If we're gonna be fixing a transmission, we'll cover the cost of the
And they have financing too, right, Steve?
Yep, and most places will offer financing.
Absolutely.
We offer financing.
We have financing.
So you're not alone. It's not that no one cares about you and your car.
So the real point of it is at the end of my conversation with somebody on the phone, and just like Eben is saying, 9 times out of 10, we are gonna need to see the car. We can coach you on the phone. We can tell you what it might be, and I love telling my favorite joke. How much is it gonna cost, Jeff?
Great question.
No, you asked me.
Oh, Jeff.
Yeah.
My car, it's
It's a Dodge.
I think it's dead. I just know that it's making this noise, and how much is it going to cost me this time?
I promise, Eben, it will be more than $1, but less than $1 million. You have my guarantee.
Thanks, Jeff.
So when somebody puts me hard pressed to give them a price, jokingly I tell them that answer because there are certain, can't leave somebody hanging. That's
really
rude.
a smart ass without being a rude smart ass.
Yeah, I mean we
I like that.
we gotta joke around with you. We gotta let you know, but realistically, all the best diagnostic is done in person. You've got to hear it, you got to smell it, touch it, drive it, all that kind of
Now,
stuff.
Jeff, someone's curious right now,
Okay.
and they're going to come down here.
Hey.
Tell them what your financing options are.
Ooh.
Tell them.
Okay, I'm good on this. Here we have West Creek Financial, right there. All you have to do, there's no credit needed. Basically, you have to have a job and a bank account. That's pretty much it. And
What does it do for them, Jeff? Tell them.
Well, you have 100 days, same as cash. You can go all the way up to, depending on the price, up to 24 months. I do recommend to all my customers, please try to pay it off within the 100 days because
The interest will kill you.
it has a high interest rate. But sometimes if you only have that option, you may have your vehicle. Sometimes that's the toll for the road. But at least you know you have a way through, and you're not just sitting on a brick.
What about
you? You got what, Synchrony or
Synchrony is our main one.
Cool.
Usually, depending on price, typically $750 more, you qualify for 12 months no interest if you pay it off in that 12 months.
Nice. That's
So,
awesome.
$749 and below, you get 6 months. It's relatively easy.
Application process?
Quick and easy, simple. You can do it online or you can come down to the store. As soon as you click submit, you should have an answer. Sometimes they'll give you like a reference number and you have to give us a call. Then we have to call them and we get the final details.
Now I'm going to mention one thing that makes this situation so slippery and well lubricated before the lube even gets in your transmission.
Yes.
And you know what that is, Jeff?
What is it?
Jeff offers coffee, and
Yes.
he also will show you a magic trick.
Ooh.
And that's because Jeff really cares, and that's why we have Jeff on the channel. Is because it's not about the green money. It's an inanimate object. Everybody wants it, and they have it for a short period.
Very
and
true.
people fantasize about it, but I tell you what, the money won't do you nothing. It's until you care. Once you care about someone enough to not play with something while you're talking. I'm just kidding. I'm just screwing around with Jeff's money. So basically, we really do care.
Playing with his wand on
yes,
TV.
he's playing with his wand on television. You guys have seen Jeff busy.
Oh my God. It's a full-size wand. And we have an alarm going off in the background. That just lets you know we're on the east side of Las Vegas. Just
Yes,
a reminder.
yes, we're here on Tropicana and
Boulder Highway next to Domino's.
Oh man, I got a story about this intersection.
give it to us. Give it to us, Steve.
Uh-oh.
Let's hear it.
Is it appropriate for the channel?
Tell it. You can do it, Steve.
Yeah, it's
You can say
it's
it.
a normal sighting over here, so
It's
I mean,
okay.
Okay, my
it's
channel's
not-
rated PG-13.
It's not
This is
graphic
like-
art.
Okay, we're good.
It's not graphic.
Let's go ahead. Give me the story, sir.
Saturday,
He's not that type
a
of
bunch
guy.
of
He's not that type of guy.
my Volkswagen buddies and I were heading out to Boulder City, and we stopped over here at the 7-Eleven
I love Boulder City.
to fuel up, and meanwhile, as we're pumping gas, BS and all that stuff, here comes this guy high on who knows what,
Everything probably.
tweaking out.
All right.
Almost took out a gas pump. Oh, no, that's
No?
like, I'm
Okay.
talking like 10 times that. I can't believe the dude was live, he was that tweaked out.
That's awesome.
Almost hit a gas pump. Front of his bumper's almost falling off. The dude had one shoe on, no shirt, and shorts.
Please, Steven, did you capture this?
I didn't personally
Oh.
capture it on video because I was
Just
more
left
worried.
us hanging.
Yeah, I was more worried about making sure the guy didn't drive off and hurt somebody. Meanwhile, you pull up to one gas pump, tries to get out of the vehicle, but it's still running and it's still in drive. All of a sudden, now the car's lurching forward, and he's like doing this weird old dance, and looks like he's trying to look for something in his mirror well beyond his soul. He's looking so deep in this mirror. Goes to get out of the car again, almost climbs out the window, car rolls forward because it's still a drive and running.
Wow.
Finally, he manages to get the thing stopped. Oh man, this was something else. Now, about 10 minutes in, I've already called the authorities because we're scared he's going to put the car through the front door of the store.
Yeah.
He manages to get out, and I'm describing the driver of the vehicle. They asked me, what makes you think he's tweaked out? Well, at the time he was trying to throw something away in the garbage, and it took him about 9 tries, and every time he fell over, walking a distance of like 5 feet from the back of his car. Then he manages to walk back over and finds one of his missing shoes.
All right.
You ever seen a tweaked out man try to put on a shoe?
Yep. I have actually.
And he manages to, long story short, he gets dressed, walks into good old 7-Eleven and manages to get whatever items he wants and pays for it, walks back out.
All right. Making progress. He's
Forgets he locks his car and set the alarm, reaches through the window, goes to pop it open, and he's got one of those aftermarket wipers or something. So now it starts making all these kinds of noises.
Oh, and it's hard to turn off.
And he's sitting there like halfway in the window, kind of like this, one hand on the handle. The other bag's got his 7-Eleven goodies. They go flying as he's trying to find his keys. About upside down at this point, and finds the keys, and he's trying to find the right button without knowing what he's looking at.
It's awesome.
Then he proceeds to get in the car and drives off before the little metro showed up.
Uh-oh.
Don't know where he went. Just disappeared like a ghost.
It's Saturday night.
This was Saturday morning.
So, this
Oh,
is the
Sunday.
stuff you have to look forward to when you come to Vegas. You're going to have an opportunity to see interesting things. Now, this is a small thing. I used to drive cab. Drove cab for 6 months, and I drove Uber and Lyft for a year. And you'll see my 20,000 mile Uber and Lyft field test where I did the motor oil change for 20,000 miles on a 2011 Honda Accord 2.4 liter Mickey Mouse car. Drove the bejesus out of it. Yeah, it's right over here. And I tell you what, I had a blast doing it. I've met people. I actually drove the most dangerous hours. These hours were 11:15 p.m. to 6:45 a.m. Dangerous. Drunks.
Bar crawl.
Crazy people. And what did I do? I went out there looking for a rush, looking for danger. It turned me on. It made my nipples hard. Did I just say that?
My goodness.
Did I just say? No,
My goodness.
So basically, Steven got a little taste of it, and now he's laughing because he wished he was an Uber driver.
No,
And I think Jeff wished he was an Uber driver. We all wish they were an Uber driver like I was, because I was this award-winning Uber. No, I'm just kidding. I'm screwing around. You like that stuff? I'm just being
Highest level Uber has
You
to
like that?
offer.
You like that,
Eben was
Jeff?
crowned.
You like
king
that
of Uber.
stupid
I love
stuff?
it.
Wasn't that stupid, Steven? You had to admit that that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It was
ridiculous.
It was
I'll give
worth
you
it.
an A.
You like that? Thanks,
It was
Steven.
worth the education, though.
It was worth doing the test on the oil for the channel, and you know, it's great to. You got to get out there in the fields and test this stuff.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we'll get back on top of
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
We
back-
deviated.
yeah,
Hey, go back to
Eben was actually
life
what he
mechanics.
was just doing.
Yes.
Was bringing us back. I think we did.
Thanks, Jeff.
I get way the hell off track.
Yes.
We'll figure that out later.
Yes.
Let's
That was
see.
awkward.
Yes, and we're going to be getting into this a little bit about a preferred customer.
Yes.
Now, there's actually.
Is that an accident? Oh, no. It's
Yes, and 99% out of 100 people prefer the preferred customer program.
Ooh.
You get the 25% off,
Yeah.
and you get the free shipping on any
Free
order
shipping.
or more.
Well, shoot.
And you'll get a chance to see information on all these wonderful products, how they make your car run better, get better gas mileage, extends the life of them with exponentially better protection. And
We like protection.
we do. Now, Steven, he has his link in the description below. If you want to support Steven, you can use Steven's link. I'll put his name and his shop address there. Jeff, if you want to support Jeff, we'll put his description down there.
Don't
Now,
support that guy.
Oh!
I'm just kidding.
so what we're doing here is we're building this beautiful, beautiful cultivation. And, you know, we all don't know everything. But
No.
we do know that some of us know a little bit more. Steven's now he's coming too. He's coming back from the dead. The sugar is coming back. So
I've
basically,
had sugar in a while.
I know. That's why we got to revive it. We got him thinking about a subject he liked earlier, and that was enough to leave enough dopamine to get him turned on again. So Jeff here, he loves what he does, and it means so much if you can help out Jeff. If you come down to the shop, just bring your car down here, get it taken care of. Steven, as far as Steven, he loves builds. He does engine building, and he's learning at an amazing rate. So if you ever have any questions about engine building, and also
We like the crazy jobs.
yes,
Oh, boy.
follow him on Instagames.
And I'll send him the crazy jobs.
Yeah,
And I send him the easy stuff.
yeah. And Steven plays the game really well on Instagame. He does a lot of good videos, pictures. The name of it is 64
V-Dub.
64 V-Dub.
Like Volkswagen.
Like a V-Dub. And he loves this Volkswagen. He's got more passion for that Volkswagen than a mother in the interim of having the baby come out of the incubators. So they cut the umbilical cord. They're just sewing her back together. That little 15-minute block where the baby's out of sight, Steven cares more for that VW than the kid after birth. And I didn't believe that until I saw him do his oil change on it, his first break-in oil change, which he used the straight 30 weight AMSOIL break-in oil, and then he changed it over to his the synthetic Z-Rod, which is a high zinc and phosphorus for super horsepower turbo applications.
Okay.
And
Camshaft.
the way he took time to pump every drop of oil out of that oil cooler, which it kills about another quart and a half, 2 quarts.
Yeah, you waste some oil that way, but
Yep, and when he did that and took that time to work with these aluminum fittings, at that moment, I knew Steven had true respect for engine building. And at that time, I got butterflies. And I think he likes
and then I
it.
started the car.
Yeah, he started a car. But I love my Cadillac. I am in a relationship with the 59 Cadillac. And I tell you what, I think Steven loves his Volkswagen more. And it's tough to say that about a loved one. You know, would I turn my back on my Cadillac? You know, I don't know if I could. I'd get run over by the damn thing, but no, just kidding.
You got mine around them darn machines.
But Steven is such a passionate guy with these engines. And if you ever want to pick his brain, give him a call, you know. He'll help you out.
Absolutely.
So what else, Jeff? I think we don't need to make
We
it
covered, if you don't feel warm and fuzzy,
Yeah.
come to the shop.
Let's talk about, there's something they call in the business, it's called jargon, okay? A lot of technicians
Slang.
will